Happy Thursday. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host, Daniel Torres, and welcome to Pressing Matters. Welcome back to the Plug Talk Sports Network. Hope that everyone is doing well and staying warm if you're down here, or staying cold, should I say, if you're down here in South Florida, because it is it's not even warm. It is extremely hot today. I'm not going to lie, I did some exercise, 500-meter swim in the pool today, this afternoon. And, even though it was exercise, I was so happy to be in that water because it was just brutal. And went to the movies this afternoon to watch Spider-Man Brand New Day. Had to see it. And I was wearing a Formula One crew neck. And, man, in the movie theater, it's perfectly fine. It's usually cold in the movie theater. But wow, on the way back, stopped for some coffee, and it was just brutal. I was like, I can't wait to get home and take this crew neck off. Kind of regret wearing it. Spider-Man New Day, Brand New Day, in other words, before we get into today's episode. Good. 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it. Good to see Tom Holland and Zendaya back. Now as a married couple, back on the big screen in Spider-Man. But I will say, again, I will rephrase it. I liked it. It was good. But after seeing, you can expect what you're going to see in a Spider-Man film. Obviously, without spoiling it, there's some Avengers plugins in throughout the movie. But after seeing The Odyssey last week, again, it was good, but The Odyssey was just amazing. I gave The Odyssey a 9 out of 10. This one I give a 7 out of 10. Again, good movie, but not as hype as people are making out to be. I see people online on X saying that, this was better than Endgame. And obviously people are saying that it's projected to be the highest grossing Marvel movie of all time. And look, credit to Tom Holland. He's been a fantastic Spider-Man, but better than Endgame? You guys go watch the movie for yourselves, and obviously just came out today. But go watch the movie for yourselves, and then come back and let me know what you guys think. I personally do not think it's better than Avengers Endgame. Absolutely not. But in other words, yes, great movie. This topic that we're going to start off with tonight, I didn't have it in my notes, in my rundown. Obviously, the sports world is quite fluid and developing. News can happen, anything, anytime, 24 hours. So this was a topic that was fresh this week. And today I was like, I got to throw it in there. I can't leave this off the rundown for another week. So we're going to talk about it. It's your first pressing matter of the night. And if you guys don't know, and I have it here in my notes, FIFA. It's a plan to create a new commercial company called FIFA Forward Enterprise and sell a stake in it to private investors. Obviously, one of the private investors happens to be the Kushner family. If you guys don't know who the Kushner family, Ivanka Trump, daughter of U.S. President Donald Trump, is married to Jared Kushner. So the Kushner family is interested in this company that FIFA is trying to create, FIFA Forward Enterprise. And the company would handle commercial rights connected to the World Cup and other FIFA competitions. Here are the basics. FIFA would remain the governing body of world football. That won't change. Private investors would buy a minority stake, reported around 20%, in the commercial entity. FIFA says the money would increase funding to its 211 member associations, with more money going towards football development worldwide. Critics, including UEFA and CONCACAF, UEFA being the governing body of European football and CONCACAF being the governing body of North America, Central America, and the Caribbean, argue that it could turn the World Cup into an investment product and that the process lacked transparency. And, well, the controversy is basically FIFA's argument: more money for football development globally And the opponent's argument is private investors gaining influence over the world's biggest sporting event could change football's priorities. And also, FIFA interested in continued expansion of the World Cup tournament and to make the FIFA World Cup every 2 years and not every 4 years. Listen, I have seen a lot out there that members are getting highly unsatisfied with the job Gianni Infantino is doing as FIFA president. We see people wanting Al Khalifa, the owner or president, should I say, of PSG to become the new FIFA president. How do I feel? I think that after this FIFA World Cup, again, aside from the football, happy that Spain won, it was the worst officiated FIFA World Cup I've ever seen. It felt very corporate. It felt very business oriented. It didn't feel like other World Cups. To me, folks, if I had to label the World Cups in order, I'm going 2010 at 1, 2014 at 2, 2022 at 3, 2026 at 4, 2018 at 5. And I might even flip that around. I might flip those two around, 2018 and 2026. I didn't like it. I didn't like the expanded tournament. Now they want to expand it even more. I think that the more FIFA continues down this route, they're going to ruin football. They're going to ruin soccer. All for money. And I think that once you start putting investors into the World Cup, money talks. And so when money talks, decisions get made based upon the money. Now, all 55 members of UEFA have come out to boycott the FIFA World Cup and boycott the FIFA Women's World Cup. Obviously, United States Soccer Federation alongside CONCACAF, they have backed CONCACAF in being against this proposal. I believe there's a deadline of late August or September. The decision needs to be made on this proposal. Gianni Infantino is asking for members to really do their research on the proposal and to accept it. He's had a very weird week. A week where he posted a cryptic post on social media, kind of bothered. And, Spanish we would say enojado, which means annoyed, upset. People criticizing him and saying that people who criticized him didn't enjoy the World Cup or missed up on the great soccer. And I said on a TikTok post that you can enjoy the game, but still be critical of someone's job. And overall, throughout the years, I liked Infantino. But leading up to this World Cup, and then during this World Cup, and now actions after this World Cup, it's just left a bitter taste in my mouth of the job that he's doing and the route that he wants to take. And obviously, I know that FIFA is the most corrupt organization in the world. We've known that. We've seen the corruption through Sepp Blatter and the 2022 FIFA World Cup Qatar. Obviously, there's conspiracy theories that I could buy into with the way Argentina has been handled and the things that they've gotten away with. Obviously, now they're under FBI investigation, which they're not going to get away with that because it's the United States of America. But his job for me, it's been quite skeptical for me as of recent times. And I'm going to have to agree with UEFA. I'm going to have to agree with CONCACAF. I'm going to have to agree with the United States Soccer Federation. Just This is pointless. Leave it out. All this is just for more money. It's all it is. God, go back to the regular World Cup format where we just went round of 16 quarterfinal, semifinal, final, not round of 32 quarterfinal, semifinal, round of 16 final. All these third place teams, the quality of soccer. I think the only one that really impressed me was Cape Verde. We got to see who they were. But other than that, I mean, the quality of soccer was just not good. I mean, there was probably only 1 or 2 games out of this entire World Cup that I can tell you, wow, that was a great game. Both of them involving England. England, Croatia, England, and France in the third place game. England, Mexico was a fun one. Obviously, I would say the final because of Spain, but even that, I'm not going to say that because as a neutral, it wasn't the most, hype, entertaining, competitive match. Spain dominated that game, which again for me and I'm sure for the rest of the world was great, but not the most competitive, not the most fun, not golazos scored. So that's where I stand. I think I agree with the other federations around the world that, excuse my language, this is bullshit. This is just for money. And at the end of the day, look, if it continues going down this route, there might be a day where the game of soccer is just, everything's becoming about money. I mean, we look at college sports with NIL. We see betting now. And I think the more, I keep saying it, the more and the more stuff that like this happens, the more corruption we're going to see, the more match fixing we're going to see, the more conspiracy theories are going to be out there, and the more allegations, accusations, and then years down the line, documentaries on Netflix on how, some of these things happened and how people got arrested. I think that's the route we're going down on. And I think that this is just, I think true soccer fans should be upset. And every 2 years, it's just going to take how special all this, including every 2 years, it's just going to take out how special, the special feeling of the FIFA World Cup. It's going to take the magic away. The same with now Panini and the contract with FIFA being, expired. And I think Fanatics taking over the rights. It's just not going to be the same. Everything is changing, and I don't think people like it. Obviously, VAR in this World Cup was atrocious. I'm not for it. And that's my final say. So we're going to move on to pressing matter number 2, which is Real Madrid and their offseason and the signings. They've made a signing today. And I'm getting the list up here for you of all the players that Real Madrid has signed in 2026. So obviously there's news that Raúl Asensio is going to be out for quite some time till October with an injury. And here are the signings. From Chelsea, left back Marco Correa, now World Cup winner. From Manchester City, free transfer midfielder Bernardo Silva. From Inter Milan, right back Denzel Dumfries, the Dutchman. From Liverpool, Frenchman center back, free transfer Ibrahim Konate. Real Madrid currently in talks with Manchester City for Rodri, player of the tournament of the FIFA World Cup, now World Cup winner. Yan Diomande also signed for Real Madrid. And then just today, Carlos Espi, a forward from Levante, fellow La Liga club, signed today. Let's take a look at the players that they have released. So Fran Garcia went on a transfer to Real Betis. Mario Martin from Madrid to Getafe. Dani Ceballos, still a free agent, left the club. This one hurt, but El Capitan, Dani Carvajal, his contract ended, and he's still a free agent. David Alaba, obviously one that needed to go, I think, as well, was occupying a roster spot. His contract ended. He's a free agent. So we wanted to sell Raul Asensio, but now with the injury, it's a little bit more complicated. Cesar Palacios over to Fulham with former head coach of Real Madrid, Álvaro Arbeloa, and he takes with him Gonzalo Garcia as well. Those two deals done today. I'm not going to lie. Cesar Palacios, fine. Gonzalo Garcia, after the season he had at the FIFA Club World Cup, and I think it was an overall tough season for Real Madrid, it would have been great to keep him, but now with true number 9, Carlos Espí, joining the club, another young gun, it kind of just goes to show to you where Endrick and Franco Mastantuono stand with the club. Franco Mastantuono is going to be sold on loan. There is talks about clubs in Italy. Maybe, Napoli could be an option. But yes, Mastantuono for sure is going to go on loan. And then Endrick. It will be interesting to see what Jose Mourinho does with Endrick, whether he keeps him on the bench or is he going to loan him out again. I mean, he came back on loan from Lyon, where he had a great loan spell there this past year. Obviously, didn't have the best time at the World Cup with Brazil. Was barely played by Carlo Ancelotti, former Real Madrid head coach. So it's going to be interesting to see his situation. I could see him being loaned out again. But overall, the Real Madrid offseason, I can't complain. Mourinho is coming back to Madrid with a purpose, and that is to win. Real Madrid, 100-point season in La Liga in 2012 under Jose Mourinho. These are the signings that he has wanted. Obviously, Mourinho is a defensive coach, a defensive master. I'm liking the defense that we're seeing right now being assembled by Real Madrid. Obviously, putting some Spaniards back into the lineup for Madrid. And there's still some experience. You still got Antonio Rudiger. Carreras, which is a Xabi Alonso signing. He's still on the squad. Be interesting to see up top what happens with Vini, Mbappe. Obviously, you still got Rodrigo, who's coming off the injury, who's getting his work done. And it's going to be interesting what happens as well with Tchouaméni and Eduardo Camavinga if Real Madrid, I don't think they're done in the market, to be honest with you. I think that either Tchouaméni or Camavinga could go next, or maybe both, and Real Madrid makes more signings. But so far for me, for Real Madrid, 9 out of 10. I think that this is a 9 out of 10 offseason. I think that they have flipped the script entirely of what this team looked like, the last 2 years. And I think that this is going to be a Jose Mourinho project, and it's going to be a lot different than what we've seen under Carlo Ancelotti and what we've seen under Xabi Alonso at the beginning of last year and in the back half of last year under Álvaro Arbeloa. So I think it'll be a nice change, but 9 out of 10 for sure for me. Next item in pressing matters. Inter Miami versus CF Montreal, going on the road, riding the winning streak. Folks, it's so hard to go, and I said it last week, from the FIFA World Cup to watching this. I think Inter Miami looks flat. Obviously, Messi, Rodrigo de Paul, out on vacation from the World Cup. This was a debut for Casemiro, who had his official fan presentation at New Stadium this afternoon. Casemiro, it looked easy for him. It looked like he wasn't under stress or any sorts of pressure during this game against Montreal. Montreal is also just an atrocious team. I sit here watching this match, and I'm saying to myself, God, they're so bad. I think I could have scored some of the opportunities that CF Montreal had. Which is still bad for Inter Miami's defense that Montreal even got these opportunities. Again, Inter Miami's, they get through. They find a way, but they look flat. And I think the biggest issue coming out of this game that we saw was Helman Beterrame. Beterrame goes up for a header and gets elbowed in the back of the head and immediately falls to the ground. When I was watching the game, I didn't see it happen. I was focusing on the goal. But I see immediately everybody just calling for the training staff right away. And when you see it's right away, it means it's not good. Which, the training staff, come on, what are you guys doing? For both Miami and Montreal. It took y'all so long to get out there to Beterrame. So long. It looked like a casual, walk in the park. Let me get my Italian espresso. While Beterrame was literally convulsing on the pitch. Which is what was said by players that he was having a seizure. Obviously, if you guys watch American football, especially down here in South Florida, we've seen that happen with now former Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, with plenty of concussions that he's had in his career and how he's gone into quite frightening seizures on the field after taking a hit to the head. And so in the moment, it was scary because we didn't know what was going on. I didn't see it first glance. Apple TV didn't show the replay, which good on them for doing that. There was concern. And you can tell with players on both sides for Montreal and Miami that it was serious. And it got real serious. And you can hear a pin drop fall in the Stade Saputo in Montreal. But it got real serious when I saw the ambulance driving onto the pitch, which is never a good sign. Saw players praying. Guillermo Hoyos looked just distraught. And he got taken away, which, by the way, on the play resulted in a penalty for the hit to the back of the head. So he got taken away, and you start to think, how did these players, gain their composure? How do they go back to playing after something so serious just happened like that? Which, credit to Luis Suarez, didn't faze him. Scored a Panenka penalty to go up 1-0 in his celebration. Good on him. Showed Beterrame's jersey in respect for him. And we didn't get a report from Apple TV during the rest of the game, which Inter Miami would take 1-0 and continue the winning streak, which they got the Columbus Crew this weekend on Saturday night here at New Stadium at home before taking the focus to the Leagues Cup, which Messi will be back for. I'm sure DePaul will be back for also. Messi's back in training here in South Florida after taking some time off and use that time to go back home to Argentina, to Rosario. And we didn't know until the day after this game against Montreal that Beterrame had been taken to a local Montreal hospital, was taken good care of, was in good spirits. It really didn't say what specifically happened. Did he go in depth with it? But he did make his trip back home later that day, the day after the game, back home to South Florida. And he was back in training. He was in training today, was in training yesterday. And he is A-OK, which is, good. What we wanted to see, because it was scary to see what happened to Helman Beterrame, which I saw later on X that same night. as someone posted what exactly happened, and it was scary to see him with his eyes just staring blankly into the sky. You never want to see that. I've seen it at the high school level, and it's not fun. It's very scary. So happy that Beterame is okay, and for Miami, they're continuing this winning streak, finding any way possible to get victories, which is what matters, right? You find a way to win. And so sitting second in the Eastern Conference, second in the Supporters Shield standings, and they move on to Columbus Crew this upcoming weekend. So let's take a look in our next item in Pressing Matters. UEFA Champions League draw is coming up at the end of August as I pull that list up for you. And I'm going to tell you the teams still left to qualify. So from England, you're going to have Arsenal, Manchester City, Manchester United back in the Champions League, Liverpool, and Aston Villa. So we will not see Xabi Alonso and Chelsea. From Spain, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, and Villarreal. From Germany, Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, Red Bull Leipzig, and Stuttgart. From Italy, Inter Milan, Napoli, Roma, and Como. We will not be seeing AC Milan this year. From France, PSG, Lens, and Lille. From the Netherlands, Eindhoven, Feyenoord. And from Portugal, Porto, Sporting Lisbon. From Turkey, Galatasaray. From Ukraine, Shakhtar Donetsk. Welcome back to the Champions League. From Czech Republic, Slavia Prague. And from Belgium, Club Bruges. And now I will tell you the teams left to qualify. Which the final qualification should be coming up here in no time. And so what's left is from Scotland, Celtic. From Belgium, Union St. Gilles. From Norway, Bodo, who was in the Champions League and surprised some people last season. And from Cyprus is Omonia. So we have that left as the draw comes up. And this is going to, by the way, I'm super excited for the Champions League this year as they continue, I believe, third season in this league phase format. So keep an eye on that. End of August, UEFA Champions League draw. And the final topic here on this episode of Pressing Matters is Como, coached by former Real Madrid superstar Rafa Varane, has instituted a no-heading ban for the youth academy. I put a TikTok as well out on this and what I thought about it. Honestly, we see the repercussions of what it's done to so many people in American football throughout the years with dementia and CTE and what it can cause to people. And some people change, their personalities change from so much hits to the head. And so, people saying, oh, this is soft or this is, it's going to take out from the game and, this is going to change the game. And no, I think that this is going to change, protecting children and the youth. And I think, yes, it should progress as they get into the teenage years, into the young adult years, and obviously adult years. But protecting kids at the beginning in their brain development, I think it's very crucial. And I will not be surprised if we see this expanded into other youth academies around the world. And I will not be surprised if this catches fire. But I agree with it, and good on Como and good on Rafa Varane. And this is going to take us to our team of the week. Your team of the week is the MLS All-Stars. Yesterday was the MLS All-Star game in Charlotte with Sierra performing at halftime. It was the MLS All-Stars taking on the Liga MX All-Stars for so long, folks. Liga MX dominated MLS. And we heard so many talks throughout the years that the talent in Liga MX was better, that the money was better in Liga MX, but not in the last couple of years, folks. And we've seen it last year. We've seen it this year in the All-Star game. MLS has surpassed Liga MX, and they dominated last night. And obviously, this is without Messi ever playing in an MLS All-Star game in his time that he has been here in the United States. But again, we've seen it at the national level, and now we're seeing it at the club level. MLS better than Liga MX finally, and that is why your team of the week is the MLS All-Stars. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude this episode of Pressing Matters. I appreciate every single one of you that tuned in, week out. We'll be back next Thursday with a brand new episode of Pressing Matters, but we're going to have a lot of great content here on Plug Talk Sports coming up. Then I'm super excited about some coverage that you'll be seeing soon. We've got some interviews coming up as well, and some brand partnerships coming up as well. So that's going to be coming up all in the week ahead. So stay tuned. Keep following all of our content on social media, YouTube, X, Instagram, TikTok. Stay up to date. We appreciate every single one of you again. And tomorrow night, don't forget to catch Plug Picks with myself and Janka Don't Stop, 10 p.m. Eastern. Not going to want to miss it. It's going to be a fun one. But until then, God bless and have a great night.